great to see you. We're down at the Queen Elizabeth Park at the London Aquatic Centre. We've got the last of the Kids of Steel this year, I believe, the 10th race.
That's right, yeah, 10th sort of, I think, and it's been a record-breaking series. So you look behind me and it's fabulous, great energy, kids having a fabulous time and getting often their first experience of multi-sport activity. So it's a great atmosphere.
We've got 1,000 kids here, I believe, today.
That's right, 1,000. So yeah, which is fabulous, really. And I've been around the course with some of them, and you know, they're all buzzing and they're very hyped up and they're having a great time. And it's great to see them, you know, and that sort of sense of independence and really their first real good go at multi-sport activity for many of them.
Yeah, the series has been running a while, and you know, complimenting you on the organisation. It's very slick, and managing kids, I'm sure, brings a few headaches in itself, but it's very well done, and it's a great way of introducing the kids to triathlon.
It is, it's really good, and I think it takes a lot of planning. I mean, and particularly when you're working with schools, and I think we've learned from the series the need to work with schools early, get it in the calendar early, build up and work very closely with schools and education in general. So that's all important to it, and also it's good as well, you see a lot of parents here as well coming along with the schools. So I mean, it's great, isn't it? Because if you're a kid, you can go back and you say, I've done a triathlon in the Olympic Park. I mean, that's a pretty good thing to say if you're a kid.
Yeah, I was watching them all collect, and they collect a plastic bucket to put all their transition stuff in. They get a t-shirt, and they say it's very well organised, and the swim hats.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it is, and it's a great thing for them to do. And you know, I was chatting to some friends who've got young kids, and they say, "Oh, it's fabulous! I wish we could go down there and have a similar experience ourselves." So it's a really good event.
Yeah, it's a pretty spectacular location.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're here, aren't you? You know, and it's 3 or 4 years on, and when you talk about an Olympic legacy, for me, this is really important. So for kids to go here, experience these fabulous environments, be part of it. You know, they're in the we're in the swimming pool here, and then they're going to go out and they're going to be right next to the stadium, and they're swimming, running and cycling in this environment. I mean, it doesn't really, you know, it's what a great experience. I mean, how amazing. Wouldn't we have liked it if we were growing up? And these kids can say they've done that.
It's the sort of the sport that we sometimes miss, obviously, because we're at the adult races, which we know very well, and some of them do run children's series, but to actually see this kind of grassroots development.
Yeah, I mean, triathlon's growing up as a sport, and I think part of that is the pathways into the sport. And I think it's so important that, you know, our sport's got a great image, it's really exciting and it's growing, but we have to be thinking about keeping it inclusive, getting people in, and doing the pathway development stuff. And I think the other side of it is it's actually a fun experience. So, you know, swimming, cycling, running, you know, you go out there, and I looked at them and watching them, and then jumping on the bike, and so it's got I think the important thing is it's inclusive and it's fun and it's easy, and sometimes the risk with our sport is the barriers to entry are quite high, so do things to reduce the barriers of entry like we're doing here is key.
And TATA, as a supporter, they've been involved for a long time, and quite a lot of these buildings, I think, are built with TATA steel. Yeah,
that's right. They've been a fabulous supporter of the sport, and I think often they want to do more. You know, so this really reaches out to the community, and as an organisation, they've got a very strong community feel, and they work very closely. So a lot of these kids have come from schools in TATA factories and locations, and we try to build in the volunteering as well around that. So they're meant to have a real community feel, and I think that's another sort of thing that is important to TATA, it's important to us. These are genuine community events. So you've got the kids, you've got the school teachers, you've got the parents, and you've got people volunteering to help. So that kind of builds a whole kind of inclusive culture around them.
And I believe someone mentioned to me the numbers are up to 75,000 children have gone through.
I know, it's amazing really, isn't it? I mean, we just hope we can keep building on it. I think it's important as well, because from us, we're looking as a federation towards the next sort of stage of funding and what the future holds, and you know, inactivity, and we think programs like this can be a real key part of introducing people to multi-sport activity, keeping it very, very easy and enjoyable, and everybody kind of gets their way around on it, and also keeping it entertaining as well, because I think it's important that it's fun. This is, I mean, we love the lycra in our sport, but this is a long way from the sort of lycra and the high-end bit, and that's how it should be. And I think it's such an important aspect of the sport, and for triathlon to have a healthy future, we need to be thinking as much about this as the other end and the elite end of the sport.
And talking slightly off topic, but you mentioned you went to Geneva at the weekend.
Yeah, it was. It was Geneva was great, and it was really good. A great event, fabulous atmosphere, incredibly hot. I mean, I was really worried. I mean, I was exhausted, and I did virtually nothing when I was out there, but I was shattered by the time I came home. And it was a great event, and the mixed team relay was fabulous, and with the what happened at the end there, and I'm sure you picked up on it, and you know, the house running in barefoot for the. I mean, that was incredible in itself. So it was a really good event. You realise once again the potential of triathlon. It's still a young sport. The age group team was fabulous, so that was great. I couldn't believe it. I spoke twice to the age group team, and that was really inspiring. And it's good to see Jodie back as well. And I think that'll be, although she didn't quite get the results she was looking for, I think actually that's a really important step in her stepping up her preparations for the Rio Test event, which is just around the corner, and then the Olympics, as we know. So yeah.
And speaking of around the corner, we've got Liverpool coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, really looking forward to Liverpool. We've worked really hard on that event, and again, we've worked really hard to get it linked into Liverpool and to the city, and I'm looking forward to that. I mean, we only really put it in the calendar at the beginning of the year, so we've only had a relatively short lead time, but I'm hopeful it'll be a great event. I mean, I'm not going to say this, but I was there last year. It was one of the first things I did in triathlon when the weather wasn't so great, so I'm hoping the weather's okay this year. We've got some great events, loads of inclusive participation again, and hopefully something like Liverpool bridges the gap between the elite and this kind of experience. So we're trying to sort of build the profile of the sport and get young people involved, and also provide a great racing environment for age groupers and the elite.
Well, it's always great to chat to you, Jack, and we'll let you push on with the future of triathlon.
Thanks very much indeed. Thank you.